Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Wednesday, and that means we are with the one and only and coach of mine, Adrian Hernandez. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Zuber. Happy Wednesday.
Man, you always bring the juice. I have coffee with me. I think if I just started my day talking to you, I would need coffee, man. It's just awesome.
That's funny, dude. That's funny. I went on a tangent where I wasn't drinking coffee for a long time, and now I'm back. So
yeah, stop it. Coffee's good.
My wife's like, your energy with coffee. At first I was drinking espresso, and that was a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That was a problem.
That's a problem. Yeah, because you still go for the same volume. It's just caffeine on steroids.
Exactly. And then you can't shut me up, and it's a problem.
Yeah, hey, first thing I want to do, because again, your day job is a real estate agent, and run a team and brokerage, all of that. So I want to talk about the real estate market as an outsider, right? Somebody who looks at their market all the time, right? Very, very myopic. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, and then I want to know exactly what you're seeing. And if it's different, awesome.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm seeing what I'll call the high end in my market, 2-3x the median. Slow down. I am seeing more and more buyers back out, but they're getting replaced pretty quickly, right? We still have a supply demand imbalance, and we can talk about that if it's relevant. But yeah, so I see demand destruction. I see supply destruction. I don't think it's going to be the great spring selling season, because I don't think a lot of people who have cheap mortgages are going to sell. So that's what I'm seeing. But let's tell us about your market.
Yeah, very similar. So we're in South Orange County. So, median price about $950.
Ooh, my median is like 400. So you're $950 median. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. But our flips are in the 400, 425 median range, right?
That's not Orange County.
So no, that's not Orange County. That's going to be San Bernardino County.
Inland Empire.
Inland Empire. That's where majority of our flips are.
Okay,
but it's interesting to see the difference, right? So anything above $3 million, we're not seeing much movement on, right? I'm actually, if anything, we're seeing those people that have that type of money. I think they're keen on to certain indicators, right? And I don't see a lot of listings going up above 3 million nor buyers. However, there is a sweet spot, and that sweet spot in our market is like that 900 to let's call it 800 to 1,215. So that market's on fire.
Yeah. So same here, right? If you're within 10% of the median, certainly in my market, if you're 10% below the median, it's white hot.
Right.
It's white hot. You may have, again, it's really interesting in real estate, right? Because if you have a listing, frankly, as an agent, you don't want 40 offers, but you'll take 5. Right? Five's manageable. 5 will get you bidding wars. 50's a problem. Right.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And on a recent listing, 125 sold in 3 days. We had 17 offers. Right. And that sold well above what we had it listed at.
I'm curious. Let me ask you some questions about that, because this is going to be very interesting. A lot of people that watch this are in California. So again, listed 125. Can you give me the basic stats, like bedroom size, all that?
So 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
Okay.
2,100 square feet.
Relatively new?
No, newer remodel, but built in,
but older.
89.
Okay. So an 80s build. All right. 125, 17 offers. How many of them were cash? Or can I ask you these questions? I can ask you these questions.
Yeah. One was cash.
Wow. One was cash.
One was cash. And then the rest were high down payment conventionals.
So no first-time buyer, 3.5% down loans.
No. Well, you don't.
It doesn't happen in Orange County.
I don't think they can.
You don't do that here. I just asking. So what was the lowest down? Do you remember?
10%.
Okay, so there was a 10% down. Okay.
Yeah, there was a 10%, there was a 20%, 40%, 50%. A lot of 60% actually, surprisingly, pushing their offer in.
So they got to cut it. So that's $600,000, at least $600,000. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it sold fast. So you got 17 offers. You did highest and best.
Sold at 1.3.
Oh, so okay, not as much over as I would have guessed. Okay.
So yeah, it sold at 1.3. And the reason being is just because of the cap and values in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
the seller's like, dude, I don't want to go above that and it not appraise. He's pretty savvy. He knows what's going on in the market. So he's like, hey, interest rates doing what they're doing, let's not push it.
Yeah.
But and then we take a look at some of our flips, right, in
Yeah.
that 350 range,
Okay.
and we're still getting 17 offers. We're still getting 15 offers. A lot of first-time home buyers that are being pushed out on the rental market.
Right.
That's what we're seeing. And actually, the guy who's buying that house at 125 was a renter. The person is selling that house, doubling the rent. He's like, dude, I might as well just go buy a house.
Yeah.
So I'm actually seeing a lot of renters submitting offers.
That's because again, that's something to be, that is interesting, right? So if you're a landlord, and again, if you're a landlord in California, you begin hit hard the last couple of years with all the eviction moratorium and all. Even if it didn't happen, even if your tenants paid, you were still afraid, right? You were still concerned.
Right.
So now the market's hot, rates are up. You're like, hey, we've got to be near the top of the market. I want to sell. So again, it's still their property. Selling is one of those reasons you can have your tenants exit, right? A 60-day notice, I think, is what's required.
Yeah.
Check with your local, rules, but that's what I think is required. You kick them out, you clean it up, and you sell it. You're right. That's a lot of, that landlord's cashing out. Do you know? I guess you don't have to know, but if you know, it'd be great. Are you going to 1031 and move the money somewhere else, or what's going on?
Yeah. He is buying big farm in Temecula.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, so he's moving. Yeah, man, that guy's a genius, right? Talk about commodities and where to go. I mean, farmland, that's a pretty strong move. So
yeah, he's seen where it's going. So
yeah,
which is it.
I want to follow that guy.
and to the rental market, I've seen rents in this area go from $4,000, $6,000, $8,000. Right now, the average rent. So if you're looking at a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, call it anywhere between 2 to 2,500 square feet, you're paying $8,000 to $10,000.
That's in Orange County again, folks. A lot of people just fell out of their chair. Wow. Okay.
And even in the inland markets, so we had a flip in Rancho Cucamonga.
Okay.
Even then, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet is still $4,500, $5,000 a month, which it never used to be that in the inland,
no.
and that's inland. So I think we all need to be aware of that.
Yeah. So Inland Empire, I was looking at that market like, I don't know, 18 or something. The rents would have been like 2,500, 2,300, something like that.
2018. Yeah. 2,500.
Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, there's a lot of stuff going on. I got to say this right now. I think rents are going to flatten out. I mean, whatever's happened the last year to rents is abnormal. Something's not right.
It's just like the market.
Yes. Very weird.
Yeah. When they realize that they're not, there's only so much people are going to be able to pay.
Yeah. We've got to be bouncing right near the top of that. It just has
to. And so, it's interesting. I was listening to a Stansberry Research, right, was doing a video with Robert Kiyosaki talking about same things you've been talking about for years, right? And just re-emphasizing what is taking place right now. Re-emphasizing, and I won't go over the top on what he said, but just re-emphasizing the volatility of
crazy.
what is taking place right now.
So what are you seeing on the buyer front? Are buyers backing? Like, again, rates have gone up 200, 250 basis points. I'm guessing there's got to be some demand destruction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a lender here in our office, and even he was telling me most of his pre-approvals, they're
worthless now.
He goes, there's nothing he can. Most of the buyers are calling him saying, I can't afford this anymore. I can't do this anymore. We were barely cutting it short as it was. Now you're telling me that the interest rate is 5%. There's no way.
I'm out. Okay. And then also, I think the Fed just screwed up royally, keeping rates too low for too long. There's a lot of people that have 3% mortgages that'll just won't sell, right? They're just going to stay put. Why would they?
Right. Because as we talked about last week on our other call, what are they going to do? They're going to exchange that same property for something smaller with just about the same amount of mortgage.
Yeah, that's crazy. So when do you think the market slows down? You really are in two different markets. Do you think the market in Orange County slows down first? Or do you think Inland Empire slows down first?
I think Inland Empire is going to slow down first. Okay, I think there's still a lot of money in Orange County.
Orange County is so small. Geographically speaking, it's tiny.
Even like LA County, you look at places like Brentwood or,
Mhm.
you look at, that high end Calabasas area of Los Angeles. There's so much money in,
Mhm.
in that area. It's insane. I don't see these two markets changing anytime soon. I do see inland getting affected pretty
Yeah.
hard, right? Because they're right there. They're a couple of $100 away, and these interest rates are going to push them over.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't know if you have any context with builders, but I have a builder in Vegas who called me, I don't know, 8, 9 days ago and is like, he said he lost half his buyers because they can't. Now, again, it doesn't matter because he had such a big backlog, but it's still a red flag, right?
Absolutely.
Again, yeah. So are you seeing builders? I don't know if you do a lot of new builds out in Inland Empire, but I got to imagine they're going to be in trouble.
There's nothing being really built out here.
Oh, there you go.
There's a couple of subdivisions in the Inland Empire that are going on, but hardly nothing in Orange County. No one's really building, right? Which is another
problem,
issue that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
There's not enough houses being built. And
do you know how many transactions were completed in Orange County last year, roughly? Is it?
I should know this number, and I don't. And I apologize to you, my mentor and my coach. I should have this number off the top of my head.
Fair
so
enough. Let's just maybe we'll look it up. Maybe we'll look it up. I'll ask it this way. Maybe Orange County, maybe it doesn't impact Orange County because again, right? If people are putting 60% down, it really doesn't matter. But maybe it does in the Inland Empire. I think transactions could go down 25%. Do you think that's more or less likely in one or other market?
I think that's more. I think that's likely. I think that's going to happen in Orange County, and I think we're going to see like a 50% in inland.
Yeah, I think it will be 50% peak to trough. I think it's 25% the year. I think we're already seeing it. Even the Mortgage Bankers Association this morning said they expect mortgage volume to fall 35.5%. Lawrence Yoon, who he is, right? National Association of Realtor Chief Economist. He says transactions are going to fall 10%, and he's the eternal optimist. So if he's saying 10%, it's really like 25, right?
Exactly.
Man, it's crazy. Yeah. Housing is broken. Housing is based on affordability. I've always believed it's based on affordability. I think transactions, it's going to be a slow grind for a couple of years because we need inflation in wages.
Yep.
And we need rates to come down. It's not a good time. I don't feel very good.
I think the creative and the strong will survive.
Of course.
Yes. Anything outside of that?
No, again, good times never last, bad times never last. And as I've seen many, many times, the strong get stronger with what we're about to go through. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, but I also know there'll be some pain. Adrian, where can people find you?
Instagram @Adrian Hernandez, YouTube @Adrian Hernandez. Appreciate you, Zuber.
All right, man. Thanks.